Hi there, and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal's stance on keeping unbelievable £20 million player has changed, with AC Milan now considering bid. Mikel Arteta's men will surely welcome offers for a number of players over the coming months as they look for the signings, which will get them across the line in the Premier League title race. According to Tuttomercatoweb, Milan have reignited their interest in signing Jakub Kiwior 18 months after his £20 million move from Spezia. Arsenal were not willing to loan Kiwior out during the January transfer window, but the report suggests that the Gunners will be more prepared to allow his departure this summer due to having more time to find a replacement. It's noted that his asking price has dropped slightly, but his wage demands would fit into the Rossoneri's budget. Kivior, meanwhile, wants to be a regular starter, which seems highly unlikely to happen given the quality of the Arsenal backline. Kivior has never quite been able to establish himself in the Arsenal side, only showing glimpses of his unbelievable potential this past season as a more disciplined left back than Alexander Zinchenko. But there does appear to be high hopes for the Poland international, with Gabriel Magalhaes one of those who has lauded the improvement Kivior has made during his time at Arsenal. Having said that, Arsenal are not going to want to reject significant bids for some of those closer to the fringes of the squad, so Milan making a serious offer would surely be very tempting. Multiple Premier League clubs want to buy £50 million Arsenal striker this summer. With everyone fit, the Emirates dressing room is a busy one, and Hale End graduate Eddie Nketiah seems a sensible player to move on. Kai Havertz is currently Arsenal's first choice striker, and with a new goal scoring addition considered a key target, there will seemingly be next to no opportunities for Nketiah moving forwards, fortunately. According to a report by Give Me Sport, Nketiah does have significant interest from other Premier League clubs, including two in London. According to the report, all of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Crystal Palace, and Fulham want to sign Nketiah. However, the biggest stumbling block could be Arsenal's £50 million price tag. Arsenal have been criticized for not demanding enough for their players over the past few windows, with Fowler and Balogun's move to Monaco being an example of that. But that price tag for Nketiah does seem steep, especially considering the spending power of the clubs mentioned. Of course, there is then Nketiah's preference. Would he actually be ready to leave his boyhood club? It's too simplistic to say that Nketiah should go if he has any ambition, as that same drive might be fueling his belief that he can still succeed at Arsenal. It's a complicated scenario, one of several that Arsenal will need to get right this summer. Fabrizio Romano drops update on Arsenal and Mikel Arteta contract talks. Arsenal continue to go from strength to strength under Mikel Arteta and will be eager to make next season the one in which they finally break their Premier League duck. This summer, Arsenal will be keen on strengthening their foundations further and potentially go one better than they did in the 23-24 season. In recent days, speculation has been doing the rounds regarding a contract extension for Arteta with the Gunners. Fabrizio Roman has now provided an in-depth update on the state of play involving the Arsenal boss and the North Londoners. The journalist said the following on Give Me Sport. Arsenal are prepared to enter into advanced conversations with Mikel Arteta and his representatives to extend his contract. Arsenal didn't want to discuss it during the season. They were waiting for the end of the Premier League, but in private conversations, they always made it clear that they wanted to extend his contract. Arteta's current contract expires in 2025, and they didn't want to enter into the new season with this still being unresolved, so the idea is very clear. After some initial contacts in April May, now he will enter into concrete and advanced talks to extend his contract. Arsenal want Arteta to be one of the best paid managers in Europe, and to give him a new power with a new contract. Despite links with Barcelona, he was never a candidate for the job because he is super happy at Arsenal. He is convinced by the project, 100% involved in the planning for the future, and also Edu and all the directors are very happy with Arteta. Obviously, they want to finally win titles, but credit to everyone involved because the way they are progressing is something very special. Everyone at Arsenal, including the players, of course, are very happy with Arteta's management style, and that's why the expectation is to continue together and to reach an agreement soon. Fabrizio Romano says £30 million star Arsenal want could be one of the surprises of the summer. Arsenal are one of the sides interested in £30 million rated Monaco star Youssouf Fofana. Fofana has scored 4 goals and contributed 4 assists in League One this past season. And while he did not mention Arsenal, Fabrizio Romano has suggested on his YouTube channel that all signs are pointing to Fofana being on the move this summer. He said the following: an important player to watch in the summer transfer window is Youssouf Fofana, the French national team midfielder for Monaco. He was on the list for Manchester United and Inter last summer at the end of August, but Monaco said no to all of the approaches. He is out of contract in 2025, same as Alphonso Davies, but with a difference. Youssouf Fofana is not even negotiating a new contract with Monaco, and the expectation of those close to the player and the expectation of Monaco is for Youssouf Fofana to leave the club this summer. So Youssouf Fofana can really leave the club. What's going to happen? There is interest from Italy, there is interest from England, there is interest from Germany. So several clubs are keeping an eye on Fofana. There is movement on him. Keep an eye on this player. It could be one of the surprises of the summer transfer window. Monaco will be holding out for as much as possible for Fofana, but his contract situation means that they are not in the strongest position. Arsenal fans may have reservations about their club not going for their top targets this summer, given how close they came to beating Manchester City to the title, but the club's hierarchy may feel Fofana's contract present an opportunity too good to turn down. What Bruno Guimaraes' family have been saying about his time at Newcastle. Arsenal have been linked with a move for Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes in recent weeks. The Gunners are said to be keen on the Brazilian midfielder, and with a £100 million release clause in place, the Newcastle star could be attainable. Indeed, it would be easy for Arsenal to skip club to club negotiations due to the existence of this release clause. However, convincing the player to join Arsenal may not be that easy. Indeed, speaking on the Sky Sports Transfer Talk podcast, Petty Graves has been discussing Guimaraes' future, and he says that everything he's heard from the player and his family is that they love life in Tennesside and they are not looking to move. Graves shared what he's heard about Guimaraes' future. He said, I think they have to be clever. Newcastle fans, listen to this. I have no concerns about Bruno Guimaraes or Alexander Isak leaving the club. I believe that the opening game of the season they will be striding out in black and white shirts. There is this £100 million release clause in Bruno's contract. Someone would need to trigger that, but he would then want to speak to the club that triggers that. Everything I hear from him, from his dad, they love it. The whole family loves it. Of course, you can never say never in football, but by the sounds of it, Bruno Guimaraes' head won't be easy to turn. Guimaraes is loving life in Newcastle, and he is a fan favorite at James Park. Of course, the allures of Champions League football and big wages will be tempting, but with a bit of patience, Guimaraes will get what he wants in that regard from Newcastle in time. As Graves says, it sounds as though Guimaraes is likely to stay at Newcastle despite Arsenal's interest. Arsenal's top striker target now wants to complete move to Emirates. Arsenal are in the market for a striker this summer, and their top target for the role is RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko, who has decided that he wants to move to the Emirates amid interest from several clubs. That's according to the Mirror, who reports that Arsenal now find themselves in pole position for the 20-year-old who fits the bill of what Mikel Arteta is looking for. The Spanish coach would ideally like to add a young goal scorer to his squad who will complement the attributes of Kai Havertz. Sesko is exactly this and finished the 24-25 campaign in outrageous form. The Slovenia international scored in all of Leipzig's last seven Bundesliga games, which brought his total for the campaign to 18. The 20-year-old has a contract with the German side until 2028, but the report states that they are open to selling the player if the right offer arrives. It remains to be seen if Arsenal make an official move for Sesko, but the Leipzig star seems to be the name at the top of the North London clubs list, which also contain the likes of Brighton's Ivan Ferguson, Brentford's Ivan Toney, and the Newcastle striker Alexander Isak at some point. Speaking exclusively to Count Offside for his latest column for the Daily Briefing, Fabrizio Romano stated that Sesko's future isn't decided yet, with the striker having a number of options on the table. He said the following: I'm also aware that there have been new reports about Benjamin Sesko becoming their, for Arsenal, top target up front. However, I have no substantial update on Sesko yet. What I can say is that he rejected two proposals from Saudi, while he also has a proposal to sign a new deal with a salary increase at RB Leipzig. I keep mentioning Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United as clubs interested from the Premier League, but it all depends on the player's decision now. The race for Sesko could be one of the more fascinating stories during the summer transfer window, as Arsenal seem to be the club leading the way at present. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.